और आगे बढ़ लेते हैं और बात करते हैं अंतर्राष्ट्रीय खबर की। अमेरिका में राष्ट्रपति पद के उम्मीदवार डोनाल्ड ट्रंप और कमला हैरिस के बीच प्रेसिडेंशियल डिबेट हुई। दोनों ने 90 मिनट तक बहस की। डिबेट शुरू होने से पहले कमला ट्रंप के पोडियम तक पहुंची और उनसे हाथ मिलाया। डिबेट के दौरान ट्रंप ने कहा कि कमला हैरिस राष्ट्रपति बनी तो 2 साल में इजराइल का नामो निशान मिट जाएगा। ट्रंप और कमला के बीच इस चुनाव में आपको बता दें ये पहली और आखिरी डिबेट थी। कमला ने पहली बार राष्ट्रपति चुनाव की बहस में हिस्सा लिया, जबकि ट्रंप 2016 से 24 तक 6 बार डिबेट में हिस्सा ले चुके हैं। इस चुनाव में 27 जून को पहली प्रेसिडेंशियल डिबेट ट्रंप और जो बाइडेन के बीच हुई थी। बाइडेन ने बाद में आपको बता दें राष्ट्रपति पद की रेस से वो अपना नाम वापस ले लिए थे। तो कमला हैरिस और ट्रंप के बीच ये जो बहस हुई, इसमें तमाम मुद्दे जो थे वो किस तरीके से दोनों नेता इस पर जमकर बरसे, एक एक करके सुनिए।
The United States Supreme Court recently ruled that the former president would essentially be immune from any misconduct if he were to enter the White House again. Understand, this is someone who has openly said he would terminate, I'm quoting, terminate the Constitution of the United States, that he would weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies. Someone who has openly expressed disdain for members of our military. Understand what it would mean if Donald Trump were back in the White House with no guardrails, because certainly we know now the court won't stop him. We know J.D. Vance is not going to stop him. It's up to the American people.
Vice President
to stop
Harris.
him.
Thank you. Lindsay?
Vice President Harris, in your last run for president.
This is the one that weaponized, not me. She weaponized. I probably took a bullet to the head because of the things that they say about me. They talk about democracy. I'm a threat to democracy. They're the threat to democracy
President
with a fake
Trump.
Russia investigation
We do have a lot
that went nowhere.
We have a lot to get to. Lindsay?
They have abortion in the 9th month. They even have, and you can look at the governor of West Virginia, the previous governor of West Virginia, not the current governor, who's doing an excellent job, but the governor before. He said the baby will be born and we will decide what to do with the baby. In other words, we'll execute the baby. And that's why I did that, because that predominates, because they're radical. The Democrats are radical in that. But her vice presidential pick says abortion in the 9th month is absolutely fine. He also says execution after birth. It's execution, no longer abortion, because the baby is born, is okay. And that's not okay with me. I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. I believe strongly in it. Ronald Reagan did also. 85% of Republicans do. Exceptions. Very important.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born. Madam Vice President, I want to get your response to President Trump.
Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And they did exactly as he intended. And now in over 20 states, there are Trump abortion bans, which make it criminal for a doctor or nurse to provide health care. In one state, it provides prison for life. Trump abortion bans that make no exception even for rape and incest, which understand what that means. Israel has a right to defend itself. We would. And how it does so matters, because it is also true far too many innocent Palestinians have been killed. We must have a 2-state solution where we can rebuild Gaza, where the Palestinians have security, self-determination, and the dignity they so rightly deserve.
If I were president, it would have never started. If I were president, Russia would have never, ever, I know Putin very well, he would have never, and there was no threat of it either, by the way, for 4 years, have gone into Ukraine and killed millions of people. She hates Israel. At the same time, in her own way, she hates the Arab population, because the whole place is going to get blown up. Arabs, Jewish people, Israel will be gone. Look at what's happening with the Houthis and Yemen. Look at what's going on in the Middle East. This would have never happened. I will get that settled and fast, and I'll get the war with Ukraine and Russia ended. If I'm president-elect, I'll get it done before even becoming president.
It is well known that he said when Russia went into Ukraine, it was brilliant. It is well known he exchanged love letters with Kim Jong-un. And it is absolutely well known that these dictators and autocrats are rooting for you to be president again because they're so clear they can manipulate you.
She was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went out, wait a minute, I'm talking now, if you don't mind, please. Does that sound familiar? She went out.
Mr. President, you recently said of Vice President Harris, quote, "I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black." I want to ask a bigger picture question here tonight. Why do you believe it's appropriate to weigh in on the racial identity of your opponent?
I don't, and I don't care. I don't care what she is. I don't care. You make a big deal out of something, I couldn't care less. Whatever she wants to be is okay with me.
But those were your words, so I'm
I don't
asking.
know. I don't know. I mean, all I can say is I read where she was not black, that she put out, and I'll say that. And then I read that she was black, and that's okay. Either one was okay with me. That's up to her.
I think it's, I mean, honestly, I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people. And he was investigated because he refused to rent property to black families. Let's remember, this is the same individual who took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for the execution of 5 young black and Latino boys who were innocent, the Central Park 5.
तो एक एक करके तमाम मुद्दों पर बहस हुई। 90 मिनट की डिबेट थी। इसके साथ ही आगे बढ़े